Alright, welcome back to UKSG Red 2023. This event we're raising money for Crisis. You can donate with the links below the stream. We would also like to shout out ESA and BSG for their continued support. Alright, I'm so excited. I actually finally get to catch one of these runs live. It is RuffledBricks running Worms World Party Remastered. So good luck, Ruffled, and let me know whenever you want any of the incentives.
Sure, well, we'll do them very shortly, but yes, welcome. I am RuffledBricks, and this is the marathon debut of Worms World Party, the 2001 installment in the Worms series. Here we're playing it in its 2015 Remastered edition, which I think mainly just enables it to be played on Windows 10 or 11. There's not that much remastering happen. So we are going to be doing all missions, any percent no mission skips run of the game, which involves completing all 45 of the missions in one sitting. We can get gold, silver or bronze medals on the run, and which is why we have an any percent. And yeah, before we start, we need to make our team. So Paulister, first thing I want to know is, do we have a name for our team?
I can assure you we have had a lot of donations for these incentives, and we do in fact have a team name with $50. It's Pythons.
Pythons.
As in, of the Monty kind.
Or the snake. That's what I'm going to imagine. Right, we need 3 of the 8 team members to be named. So do we have a top 3 list of names?
It seems that the I Am Jesus Christ run was really, really popular. The first name with $100 is John Follower.
John Follower.
My favorite crossword clue.
Awesome.
We have second place with $60. It's Jesus Christ.
Jesus Christ. Love that guy. And the third one?
Finally, at $40, it's John Cleese. So yeah, chat, love these names or hate them. They will be, for better or for worse, receiving lots of abuse during this run.
John Cleese appears in one mission, just FYI, so I hope you feel it was worthwhile. And what accent will our worms be speaking in?
After a very heated donation war, it is going to be Scouse.
Scouse! There we go. So Angry Scots have been toppled again for only the second time in marathon history. All right then, so we are going to start the run then. Let's go then. 3, 2, 1. Off we go. All right, so first thing we are doing is we're actually quitting out of this first mission and then going straight back into it. The reason that we're doing that is because, like in Worms Armageddon, you can actually generate extra crate drops by quitting out of missions, because the more attempts that you do at a mission, the more the game will try to help you out with extra crates. So that gives us a extra low gravity crate that we use on this mission here. This first mission is called Good Ship Armageddon. Doing a little trick here, which we're going to do in a few missions here, which is a kind of low gravity girder trick, we call it, whereby we place the girder, and when we do that, we've got low gravity on, which means we can do a jump onto the girder, and then before the retreat time ends, we can then jump off it onto our next platform. That's going to help us quite a bit. And then what I'm going to do here is, we've got a jetpack here. The amount of fuel you've got left in a jetpack is denoted by the number that you see above. And we've got the blindfolded donation incentive, by the way. So 4 of the missions we're doing in this are going to be blindfolded, and this is the first one. This mission is called Do Wop. And the object is to kill the worm at the bottom. We only have pneumatic drills to be able to do this. And yeah, let's see how we go.
Yes, sir.
Okay, we're safe. Okay, so he didn't go into the water. that is RNG there as to whether he goes in or not. So we've got a baseball bat there we can use. And then we're quitting out. And that was the first of the 4 blindfolded missions, gang. So what we do in these missions here is a little trick we call end skip. Basically, like much like in Worms 2 and Worms Armageddon, you can use Alt F4 to quit out of the missions. But in Worms World Party, there's a weird thing with it in that, like, you can only do that by Alt tabbing out of the game first and then clicking back into the game. That enables you to quit out. So if you see the game freeze in the middle of a mission, that's me doing that, basically. So this is Jumble Sail, this mission. It's a kill the enemy worms mission, basically. We managed to manipulate the first worm there into killing themselves off. And now, specific bazooka shot there to knock them up together so that the mine then just knocks them both into the water. And basically the way the end skip works is that we can quit out of the missions the moment our objective has been achieved, which is why we're quitting out the moment the enemy worms go into the water. This mission is called Shell Shock. This is the mine cannon mission, as it's known in colloquially. Each time we grab one of these crates, it adds mines to the cannon here. We need to grab 8 of them in order to use them to launch mines onto the worms over here. So that should be 8. And then if I drop down, that launches the mine over here. And because I put the girder in a very specific place there, then it deflects the enemy worms there so that all 3 of them go into the water at once. I use the team name there as a visual cue for where to set the girder. Just FYI. This mission is called It's Raining Mines, Hallelujah. This introduces the falling mine mechanic in the game. Object of this one is pretty simple. We're just going to use a jetpack to place mines by the 2 enemy worms on the map here. And was going for a little skip there, didn't quite get it. Basically, like, you can use that mine to knock your worm into the enemy worm there and kill them off, because the game doesn't really mind if you lose your worm on that one. It just cares if the enemy worms get killed. But it doesn't matter if you don't get it. Like, it's just a little bit quicker if you can. Right, specific pixel perfect thing we're trying for here. We got it. Yeah, this mission is called Take Out the Trash. Object is to kill off the 3 enemy worms on the right here. And this is a tough bit coming up. So, right, we need that arrow. I think yeah, I'm going to restart this one because I think I've actually put my worm in the wrong position there. So let's have another look. What we're trying to do is we're trying to put a girder in a very specific position for this first trick here. Yeah, this is sub-pixel specific, this jump here, because if you're on the wrong sub-pixel there, you can end up falling off and basically it's a reset if that happens. So, right, what I'm trying to do is, you'll notice there's an arrow pointing to the parachute crate. I'm trying to get that so that is at 22 or thereabouts. And by doing that, I'm placing a girder there. Using that as a visual cue. What's going to happen is once these enemy worms take their turn, in which they skip go, 3 mines are going to fall from the air. The first one, if we've got this right, should knock John Follower onto the crate over there, which basically manages to skip a turn for us, because what that does is our object is to get this crate in the bottom right corner, and by doing that, it saves us a turn, and these mines happen between every turn, and as you can see, they take ages to fall past. So if you can get that mine skip there, then that saves you quite a bit of time on this mission. And then what we're going to do here is we're going to use low gravity just so we can get over to the crate a little bit quicker. It contains a weapon called Patsy's Magic Bullet, which is a very powerful homing missile. I'm going to use that on Field Marshal here, and then because they take enough damage there, then we can just quit out the moment they take the bullet, and we are good to go. Right, next mission is called Missile Base. I'm quitting out of this one once, just so that we can generate an extra crate that contains a girder. This one we are going to do a bungee fling. We're going to use the bungee off the top of this girder here to try and fling ourselves off over to the right to clear some distance here. And one thing I want you all to look at with this bungee, see if you can guess at what angle Team 17 thought the bungee wouldn't be able to go above. Right, just need to focus on this. Oh, okay, so... Right, this is not good. We want him to stay on the left-hand side so that we can get this fling going. Oh. This is a very, very annoying trick to do, just FYI, so... Okay, come on. Stay to the left. Stay to the left. Come on. You got this. No! Go to that side again. Last ditch attempt. Oh, that's good. It's the best fling you're getting out of me today, gang. Basically, like, if you get the right momentum on that, you can get all the way over to the tank, which is where you want to go, because there's a crate over there that we need to get to complete the mission. I'm trying to think. We've got nothing but blowtorches here, so I think we might be in a bit of trouble here. Yeah, okay, so I've taken some fall damage here. We're going to try and plow on regardless of this. Actually, do you know what? No, we'll plow on. I'm thinking of resetting so we can try the bungee again, but I think that might take too long. So, as long as we don't get absolutely wrecked. Because as you can see, these shots are quite accurate from the CPU on this one. Most of the missions in the game, the CPU is kind of there just ceremonially. They don't really tend to attack you that much. This is one of the few missions where they actually are kind of a threat, because they're CPU level 4, which is the second highest CPU level, which means their shots are fairly accurate. Not always. There's a fair margin of error with some of them, but as you can see, been taking a little bit of a pounding from them so far. So basically, like, as this is just going to be blowtorching for the rest of this mission. So while we're doing that, Paul Lister, if you've got anything you'd like to read out, now would be a good time.
I do have a donation here. So we have $15 from Kisenchu saying, RuffledBricks' run on ESA Summer 22 was simply amazing. Was looking forward to this one. Good luck, and cheers from Brazil. Thank you very much, Kisenchu. That was going towards naming one of the worms Jesus Christ, so I hope you're happy with what you've gotten here. But yeah, back to you, Ruffled.
Well, thank you very much. Although I have to say I'm disappointed with John Follower's bungee skills so far, so... Maybe Jesus would have made a better attempt, but hey-ho. Now, one of the most popular weapons in the Worms franchise is the concrete donkey. And I often get asked, does the donkey appear in any of the missions in the Worms games? He doesn't in Worms 2, he doesn't in Worms Armageddon, but you lot are in for a treat, because this crate over here contains a concrete donkey. So you are going to get to see the weapon. For those of you who've not seen a concrete donkey before, it's pretty literal. It basically just drops a concrete donkey onto the land, and it does loads of damage on all the enemies that it hits. So here we go. We are going to jump onto it, grab the crate. There is one concrete donkey. Unfortunately, the object is to grab the crate, so we don't actually get to use the crate. Yeah. Yeah, that is, listen, speak to Team 17, not me. Don't worry, there might be other opportunities to use a donkey, don't worry. This mission is called Woodland. First thing we're doing is placing this girder here, because that is going to stop a crate full of jetpacks falling into the sea. When I say full, 2 jetpacks in there. Each one contains 10 fuel. That's not really enough for us to get to this crate full of concrete donkeys. So what we are going to do is we're going to use a trick called Jetpack Trick, also known as Jetpack Trick, but Jetpack Trick is easier to say and sounds like a budget superhero. First thing, we use the first jetpack to get over to here, and then what we're going to do is we're going to use this manip here to get further than we can do with the jetpack. Placing the girder, and then we get infinite retreat time here, so that we basically use all that fuel. 5 concrete donkeys, but we don't get to use them either because, once again, the object is to grab the crate, not to use the donkeys. This happens a fair bit in this run, just FYI. This mission is called Jump Jet Defense. The object of this one is we use the Armageddon weapon to kill that enemy worm off down there. And what we're doing is you're supposed to use the jetpack to dodge the meteors that are falling. I'm just going to hover above the spawn plane instead, because that's just much more consistent, slightly easier to do. And another thing to note, you know this run is called No Mission Skips? Or this category is called No Mission Skips. This is for the first of the skippable missions. If you do Alt F4 right at the beginning of this mission, you actually quit out the mission with a success. You quit with a win. It's basically a weird glitch based on how the mission has been configured. There's 6 of them across the missions that have that glitch in them. As a result of the rules of this particular run, we're not going to be doing those skips. So you get to see all of the missions in this run done as they're supposed to be done, quote unquote. This mission is called Operation Alcatraz. This is the second appearance of the low-grav girder trick. Here we go, just jumping across like that. And if we land on that worm's left side there, that makes the general skip go. Here's the second appearance of Jetpack trick. So once again, we're going to use... Oh, I need to grab the jetpack first. That's why we can't do it yet. Grabbing the crate on the left-hand side there. And we're going to use the grenade this time to... trigger the end of the turn. So that's what happens. Basically, the way Jetpack trick works is... Oh, I think that... I can't remember if that's a win or not on this. I think it might be a loss. So let's see... Oh, no, we're fine. Okay. So you didn't need to save the worm on that one, so that's fine. Right, this is a tough mission. This one's called Apple of Your Eye. And this one's basically kind of like a platformer. We have to get to the right-hand side and kill the enemy worm off. And using the fire punch there off the back of that mine to launch us all the way over there. And then just jumping into the mine there, and that launches us into the field marshal there to knock them into the water. And again, game doesn't care on that mission if you lose your worm or not. Some of the missions it does care if you lose your worm, and I'll point those out accordingly. But in fact, those are the ones that tend to be skippable. So it seems like the game checks for if your worm is still alive in those missions, rather than if the enemy worms are dead. This mission is called Fruit Bastille. Object of this one is to kill an enemy worm off in the bottom right-hand corner and protect our VIP worm. You can tell they're an important worm because of the size of their hat. See if you can spot which one is our worm in a moment. Just using a parachute to get across there. And, I know, it's not that hard, is it? and then what you're supposed to do in this mission, you notice there was a target we went past earlier. You're supposed to like hit that target to get a fire punch crate to kill that enemy worm off, but you get a baseball bat automatically, so we just ignore that target completely. This mission is called Stairway to Armageddon. As you can see, it takes place on the set from Shooting Stars, the panel show. Object of this one is we have to get to the top right of the level to grab the crate up there. And we've just got shotguns we can use on this one. We can use an infinite amount of shotguns per turn, as long as we've got enough of them in our arsenal here. What we're going to do here is just nudge up until we go down a bit, and that gives us a jump to get there. And then we have to, you notice we have to shoot these mines out the way as well. And we run out of turn time there, but that's fine. You get infinite turns on this, I think, until the mission time runs out. So we shot the mine in between the two targets there, and then we just get to jump across and grab ourselves an Armageddon, which we don't get to use. This mission is called Rainforest Ruckus. We get to use infinite weapons on each turn on this one as well, and this is very useful because it means we're going to try and kill this first worm off with a some cluster bombs. Okay, that's on the side of their head there, so probably not going to be that good. But yeah, that was 8 cluster bombs there. Right. Now we got to do 2 grenades on this dude's head. Ooh. And I'm trying to get into it. Oh, okay, Field Marshal over here is dead as well. That's good. Now, I'm in a bit of a... I'm not in the best position here. I wanted to be further to the left here. No, I'm going to stay here, actually. So, ideally, what you want to do is you want to stand next to this Field Marshal, because this actually then will manipulate them into skipping go. As it stands, because we haven't got that close to them, The enemy now gets their turn, and much like us, they can use infinite weapons per turn as well. So you get to see this rapidly encroaching selection of shotgun shots coming towards John Follower. He should be fine. We've got 150 health, but basically it's just more of a time loss if that happens. Whereas if you can get over there quickly enough, then you're fine. So there we are. We took one shot, but like it's fine, not a problem. Now, we've got 6 grenades left. That should be enough for us to kill this Field Marshal off. We get infinite ninja ropes as well, which is good for mobility here. Oh, come on, get on his head. So, up here, and then just dangle, and there we go. 6 grenades. And how's that looking? Okay, yeah, cool. So, that's the sign that that's done. So, good. On to Castle Hassle. This mission we're going to reset once just so we get a spare... Where is my cursor? There is. So we get a spare ninja rope on this one. Object is to kill off all the enemy worms. We are going to grab the crate in the bottom right to do that. It contains an Armageddon. Because of that, this is a big RNG mission because the comets from the Armageddon weapon go all over the place. You cannot really control where they're going to go. So because of that, we may need more than one attempt at this one. Let's see how we go. Nice little rope fling there just to get us over to that side. And then down we go. And grabbing the crate. And you join us at the end of the World Derby. And the comments are coming down. And let's see if we get all of the worms in. The bottom 3 are going right into the hot joint key. But Sniper is going off. Grenadier is holding on for dear life. He is holding on. He's looking pretty soft. But he has been dropped in. And the last one is holding on there. I think he's dead. But let's just make sure he gets one more. I think he's fine. Yeah, we got it. We got the silver medal. Right. This one we're going to try and do a manip on. This one is called... oh. Okay, right. The ease of access mouse settings are not working on here. That's annoying. So basically what we would do normally on this is you can set it on Windows so that if you can put it so that like the mouse functionality on hang on, let me just figure out what I'm doing and then I will try to talk. Poor listener, cover for me.
Cover for you, I shall. We do have a donation. It's $10 from Tapatzel saying, good luck with the run, Ruffled. And yeah, thank you very much for the donation. You're helping us get ever closer to that big 2K milestone. So yeah, very nice. And as that enemy worm gets flung, I believe we are fine now. Yeah, probably
yeah,
send
cool.
it right back
I'll
to you.
talk about what happened there in a minute, but we've got 2 blindfolded missions in a row coming up now. One of them is easy, the other one less so, so bear with me. This first one is called Parachute Problems. Object is to blow up the target, or kill the target on the right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Down a bit. And then that's literally all they have to do. Like, that's one of the easiest missions in the entire game, that one. So that one. This one, however, this is blindfoldable. I'm only going to have a few attempts at this. Object is to kill the worm off on the right with a fire punch.
Yes, sir.
Oh, okay, right. Looks like we didn't quite get it that time. The problem with this one is the mines have a habit of cancelling out some of the audio cues that I use.
Yes, sir.
Okay, all right, let's try that again. I'm going to do like maybe like 4 or 5 attempts at this, and if not, I will have to do it without the blindfold. But yeah, this one, because of the amount of sound in this one, it's really difficult.
Yes, sir.
Okay, that sounds good.
First blood. Coward.
Nice. Okay, there we go. Yeah, that one is so difficult to know where you are on that, because all those explosions and that, like, they cover up your jump sound, or can cover up the jump sounds, so it's really hard to know where you are if that doesn't go well. Right, this mission is called Island Antics.
Yes, sir.
Object to this one. Oh, that's slightly wrong there. There we go. Don't need that guy. Basically, like... He'll come back, it's fine. So, object to this one, we call this a crate trail mission, because basically, like, it's a trail of crates spawns on this one. I've got that arrow in, like, the most annoying possible position, so, right, let's have another go at this. Basically, like, you have to follow the crates around, and then eventually there's a crate that's going to spawn back where we start, and we need to destroy that in order to complete the mission. So yeah, what I was trying to say earlier about the ease of access mouse settings is that... sorry, you're going to see Jesus snuff it again, by the way. Apologies. Third time in this marathon. But basically, like, yeah, the ease of access mouse settings, you can set it in Windows so that, like, you can operate, like, mouse with the number pad on your keyboard. And we do use that for some of the strats in the missions in this run. However, this PC is Windows 11, which I've never used before, and thus we weren't quite sure exactly how the settings worked on it. It looked like they were active, but in practice, this does not seem to be the case. So, because of that, there may be a few missions that I have to do slightly differently than I would normally do them in this. Shouldn't be too much of a problem, but like some of the more pixel-specific strats in the latter half you might not be able to see. So here we are. That's the last of the crates that we need to get, and then the crate that we are going to blow up spawns on the right. I just need to find the right angle for this shot. Should be it. Might be a little bit too far right. Let's see how we go. Yeah, it wasn't quite there. That's fine. It's one notch up from that, I think. This general is doing a lovely job of looking after this rock face, by the way. Let's try this. There we go. Like that. So second time's a try. You actually don't get much of this notching, as we call it in the Worms runs in Worms World Party. Like, there's not. It's more platformer than combat simulator, the Worms World Party missions, but every now and then there's those skills come in handy. So this mission is called Berlin Boss. This is another skippable one, which we're not going to skip, and this is Jet Patrick again. So let's see how we go. So popping the girder there, and then just holding up and right, and until the retreat time ends, and it gets us as far over to here as possible. We can get a little further. If you can get right underneath the guard, actually that will manipulate them into skip and go rather than throwing a grenade. The fact that they're throwing a grenade is not a problem. We've got 63 health. We can tank it. But the object is to kill this VIP off over here. Got to do that with a shotgun. Shotgun, you get 2 shots per turn. So first one we're going to use to make a hole through the lamppost here. Second one, we're going to just hit this crate, and then that's knocks the worm into the mines. You notice there's a lot of super mines in this game. They're basically just like about 10 normal mines just put into one position. So nothing special about the way they're programmed, but they make for some good yeets across the run. This mission is called Windy Mill on High. You'll notice the first half of the missions, a lot of the maps are quite nautical themed. In the second half, they just start putting in loads of windmills for some reason. Object of this one, we call this kind of like a walk and prod mission. You've seen a few of them already, but basically like you go from one side of the map to the other and you kind of prod or fire punch or whatever to knock the enemy worm into the water. This one we do have a prod, but we're not actually going to use it because we're going to use a different way of getting them into the water. I'm also using a slightly safer way of getting through this mission. There's a thing you can do on the right-hand side as well, which speeds things up ever so slightly. But it involves a very quick kind of jump that you have to do. So there we are. We're just going to jump into the secret agent to knock them off there, and then into the water they go. Right, this mission is called Bunged Up. This is an interesting one. So the object, what you're supposed to do in this mission is you're supposed to use girders to plug these taps or faucets, if you're in the US, up, to stop these worms from being ejected when you grab these bazooka crates. What we're going to do, though, is we're just going to eject them. They are quite scary as far as enemy worms go, but we're going to try and manipulate them so that they don't attack us. A little bit of trouble with the ninja rope there. Oh dear. Okay, all right. Well, I think we might be okay. Unless they do an airstrike. If they do an airstrike on this turn, then we are in trouble. Because sometimes they will just throw their own worm under the bus here. Okay, they are doing an airstrike, but they're doing it on one of their own worms instead. So that's fine. The weird thing about the CPU in the Worms games is that, like, they're programmed to kind of, like, ensure that they always do something during their turns. Like, they don't like skip and go if they can help it. But what they will do is that if they can't get a good shot on your worm that doesn't hurt their own worms, then they will just try and aim a bad shot at one of their worms instead. As you can see, they get infinite amount of weapon usages per turn on this mission, which is why you kind of don't want that to happen if you can. There is a way of... Oh dear, that's not good. There is a way of manipulating them to not do that, but it's fine. Now, what we're going to do here, we are aiming for a trick called Team Skip on this one, which is the object is to kill all the enemy worms. Oh, that's... Okay, that's perfect. But we only need to kill 3 of them. Because basically the enemy is split into 2 teams of 3. And we've killed 2 of the worms on one of the team. Basically, if you kill one of the teams in this mission, but not the other, the game will still register it as a win. And that's a trick we're going to use in one other mission as well. Again, not entirely sure why. It might be because both of the teams have the same team name. They're both called Enemy, and the game possibly gets confused about the win condition on it as a result. But so playing that one a little bit safe here. But what we're going to do now is we're just going to kill this assassin off, and we're also going to kill ourselves off in the process, and that triggers the mission into thinking that we killed all the enemy worms off, and we get through with a gold. This mission is called Steeplejack. What we're going to do on this one, basically you're supposed to do a kind of trick shot on this mission. Like, you've got 2 enemy worms over here, both with low health, and there's a mine next to one of them, so I don't know if you can kind of see what might be supposed to happen as a result of that, but we don't have much in the way of weapons here. We've got some girders, and we've got a low gravity, and we've got a baseball bat, and that combination of weapons should be enough to get the kill that we need on these. So what we're going to do is John Follower now is going to come up here is going to just... oh, okay. So we're going to have to jump over Jesus Christ here rather than go through him. Then, low gravity. We're setting that. And now, just with this bat here. Hopefully we've got the angle right on this. There we go. Hits the mine and knocks the top guard next to the other guard there. And then what's going to happen is once the top guard blows up, the grave damage from their death basically does enough damage to the guard that then we get a success on that mission. This mission is called Radical Rescue. This is another crate trail mission. We use our jetpack here just to grab all of the crates on here in the order that they spawn. The last one is going to contain a holy hand grenade, very appropriately. And we do actually get to use it. So it's the only holy hand grenade in the run, so do sing along if you know the words. And we got the double damage crate as well, so that's nice. You don't have to get that, but it makes the holy hand grenade crate spawn ever so slightly faster. So everyone, here we go. And there we go. That's it. That's the end of that mission. This mission is called Roping with Dinosaurs. Object of this one, kill off all the enemy worms. We have to grab crates with bazookas in them. They spawn in a fixed order in this mission. And we get a bunch of ropes that we can use to go around as well. Going to start off with this worm and also just getting a couple of bazooka crates here. And there we go. Just dropping that off like that. And it knocks them out of bounds. You see, like, this is a cavern mission, so, like, if they go outside the screen, then they just sort of disappear off. Manipulating that worm there into walking. Like, basically, you can't end your turn on the same platform as an enemy worm whose turn it is on this one, because otherwise, they will fire punch you, which will kill you off. Right, so, you notice we're dropping our bazookas from ninja ropes here. This is because our worm is an artillery worm in this mission, so they actually physically can't move. They can't walk. They can use the ropes to move around, but we can't get ourselves into a better position on land, as it were, so we're using the ropes to put ourselves in a better position here. Just trying to think what the best way... I think here... Here I'm going to go... Yeah, okay, cool. And then... There we go. A little bit of damage towards myself there, but again, nothing too serious. And then just got the last artillery worm now. I think he should just skip go. Yeah. They can be a bit of a threat if they grab a bazooka crate, but like I basically grabbed the bazookas in such an order that like they don't get any crates on this mission, which makes them less threatening, but also it's quicker to deal with them as well. And then... There we go. Just knocking artillery into the water, like so. This mission is called Rescue Me. This is another skippable mission that we're not skipping in this category. Object is to save our two VIP worms here because mines are going to start spawning on them and going to do quite a bit of damage to them. We also need to kill off the enemy worm on the right. I've made low gravity here just to give us more make it quicker for us to get across and also to make it less damage on the VIP. Popping a girder there just to... ensure that the first one is safe. We're not going to do that with the second one just because they got 300 health, so we don't need to worry about that. But, yeah, there we go. Pretty straightforward mission, that one, but quite fun as well. And this mission... Why does the cursor keep disappearing? This mission is called Jeg Central. This one might remind you of Lemmings 2 The Tribes, if you've ever played that game, for this reason. So basically we've got a kind of like longbow. Oh. Okay, hang on. Give me the camera back. We've got a longbow machine gun kind of like combination that we can use there. So that creates this sort of platform that we can use to get up here, and then this is another crate trail mission / target trail mission as well. We have to grab a bunch of things in a specific order to make them spawn. There's a crate down here we need to get. Need to make sure that we don't actually blow up the crate because that will result in a fail. Then we just jump down here. We've also grabbed ourselves a fast walk utility. Something to note about this game is that you'll know that in Worms 2 and Worms Armageddon we have a trick called skip walking, where we actually spam the right click on the mouse, and that cancels out animation frames, which makes our worm walk faster. That has actually been patched out of Worms World Party, so the only way we can really get quick walks like this is by using the fast walk utility as and when that comes up. This mission is called Chase the Ace. I'm going to try and make up for my bad bungee prowess earlier by doing another one here, but I'm only going to try it maybe once or twice, so bear with me. Not quite, unfortunately. Like, what we're trying to do is just fling ourselves over to the right, just because it cuts out a fair bit of the mission. I'll give it one more go, but if not, I'm going to have to do it the kind of slow, boring way. No. Go away! I don't need healthy recipes for 2023. Right. I'm healthy enough. Right, okay. Yeah, that is a really hard bungee trick to do. Fortunately, the reset on it isn't too long, but yeah. Not today, I'm afraid. No bungee goodness on this particular run. So what we're doing instead then, this mission's called Chase the Ace. The object is to grab this crate over here. We deliberately face tank that mine there just so that we can get past the two mines at the top there. And now we're just going to use a girder to get across here. You'll notice with some of these maps, by the way, they may look kind of familiar. A fair few of the maps were used for missions in Worms Armageddon as well, and they've kind of been reused in this, just with different kind of mission structures instead. So just making sure I get this jump right, because remember I've only got 1 health at this point, so I cannot make I cannot take any damage whatsoever. So blowtorch in through this spaceship here, and then there is a jetpack crate down there, which we're going to use to get the glowing crate on the right there. Going to get down there using, I think we can use a parachute. Yes, okay, the wind is good, so we can use the parachute. You'll notice I don't open the menu very often in the game, by the way. That's because, unlike in Worms Armageddon, you can't actually open the menu when it's not your turn. So unfortunately, I can't show you what weapons we have for most of them, as I'm using the hotkeys to skip to them in most cases. However, there's no hotkey for getting utilities like low gravity or jetpack up, so I do have to open the menu for those. So savor those moments. Right, this mission is called I Rule the Rooster. It's a kill the VIP mission, and we're going to see our good friend Jet Patrick in action again here. We're going to do what we call a jetpack knock to try and kill them off. First of all, let me see if I can get this jump right. Yeah, cool. Right, that's kind of a scary jump over that mine. And then using the mine to trigger the Jet Patrick phase. And then here we go. And then just basically knock them straight into the water like that. And then the moment Major surrenders there, then we can skip out of the mission. This mission is called Super Tricky Sheep. Object is to collect all the crates that spawn on this one, but that takes too long, so we're just going to do a sheep up into the air like that, kill the 2 enemy worms around us like that, and we've completed the mission already. It's a skippable mission, this one as well, so you wouldn't see this in a normal any % run, but I figured you needed to see that utter cheese that just happened. And here's another skippable mission as well. This one's called Down on the Farm, and again, it's another map that you might recognize from Worms Armageddon. This mission has 3 VIPs that we need to kill off, and a general with all the health. We don't need to worry about them. It's only the VIPs that we need to kill off on this. So I'm shooting that target to generate that jetpack crate there, and then just throwing that worm in because, yeah, John is a follower no more. So Jesus Christ is going to take the reins of this one. So we reset this mission once to get a spare baseball bat crate, and now you are about to see where Mike the Headless Chicken came from. So brace yourselves, everyone. Oh dear. Poor Mike. So yeah, General here just skips go. He's got 9,000 health. Why would he need to do anything? You're supposed to knock all these VIPs into the super mines on this, but like this one here, it's quicker if you actually just bat them out of the map here, which you can do as a result of getting that extra baseball bat spawn. And then last VIP, we're just going to get a jetpack going over here, and then just fire punch and yeet. And there are 200 pixels out of bounds. Nice. And he just gives up, because why wouldn't you? Right, this mission is one of the worst ones in the game. This one is called Icy Encounter. It is the longest mission in the game by far. Object is to kill off all the enemy worms. Unfortunately, at present, we don't have any real weapons to speak of. There is a crate over here that contains some bazookas and some grenades. We're going to go and get that, but it's a long pilgrimage for us to get over here, and most, if not all, of these artillery worms around the map are a credible threat. That one isn't. He's just doing some pruning of the tree, but the rest are a bit of a problem. Another thing that makes this mission particularly annoying is you have 2 worms on this, and you are not allowed to let either of them die. If one of them dies, the other one automatically surrenders. So that makes this one a real slog to get through, because you can't just kill one off and then just focus on the one worm. Now, what we're doing here is we're basically just making our way over to the right here. We've just done 2 blowtorches here. I've taken a little bit of damage from one of them just because it's slightly quicker that way, but it's fine. We should be okay. Now I'm going to place a girder up here so we can get over the tree. And this next turn, I want to kind of concentrate on this, because this is probably the hardest turn of the mission. So, Paulister, if you've got anything you want to say, this would be a good time.
I can give you a donation and a quick message about our charity. First of all, we have a $5 donation, once again from Kisenchu, saying, "This run is so good, I simply had to donate again." Thank you very much. We are about $109 away from 2,000, so every little helps to get that milestone, and every little helps for Crisis, which I want to talk about here. I'll give you some donation equivalencies in pounds specifically, so just run some mental conversions in dollars when you donate. But if you donate £10, those could provide a warm welcome and help someone take the first steps out of homelessness. If you donate the equivalent of £32, you could help fund one-to-one specialist coaching in housing, benefits, well-being, and work. So thank you all for donating so far. Let's keep those donations going for an incredible cause. Bye. Back to you, Ruffled.
Thank you very much. Right, okay, so that turn went fine. We got about as far to the right here as we needed to. Next thing we're going to do now, using a parachute here, is we're going to grab the crate. So we now have some weapons that we can use to deal with the enemy worms. And just want to try and get up here. There we go, just jump in there to avoid taking damage from the mine, and then doing a bazooka there to kill that field marshal off. Now I'm going to pop Jesus on top of the cottage here. He's going to tank 1 grenade from the artillery here, but it should be okay. Good. All right, that's good, and it didn't mess up the visual cue I need. Right, coming up is the only, I think, max bounce grenade we're going to use in the run. So we're going to, if you ever wondered what the max bounce feature is for, this is a good one. So we basically bounce this grenade off the floor like this, and then it knocks the artillery into the water, like so. Then this worm, because we keep sitting on their head, they just skip go, because they're nice and comfy. And then here, going to drop down another fairly pixel perfect shot here. We're using the background to line this one up. So we basically just one-shot this artillery there by getting the sort of about 45 damage from the grenade and then some fall damage from them as well. And now we are pretty much in the clear on this one, as long as we don't make any silly mistakes. So fingers crossed. But as you can see, yeah, this one is much longer than any other mission in the game by far, and kind of weirdly so as well. And it's another map that's reused from Worms Armageddon as well. And I have to say the Worms Armageddon version of this mission is much nicer. But here we are, dropping that grenade there, and that launches the artillery. Hopefully that's enough fall damage. Yeah, we're good. Alright, so that one is out of the way. This is the loudest mission in the game, everyone, so you might want earplugs for this. This is called Have No Fear, Old Dear. Object of this one is to kill the enemy worms off, but not hit the grannies as much as we can. I say grannies, I don't know if they have grandkids. Basically, we're just going to kill all these off. Once they've taken enough damage, I will quit out, and that should be fine. Every time we hit an old woman, then we lose 5 seconds on the timer. It doesn't really matter that much if that happens, but it just slows down progress of the mission that much. We're trying to get these shots as dead on as possible to ensure that we have to do as little as we can on this one. And then one more shot should be fine. Got it. Okay, nice. This mission is called Back and Forth. Object of this one is we have to go back and forth to get some crates that contain some shotguns. Those will enable us to get into the center of this fun jungle complex here that you're looking at. A little rope fling there just to try and get ourselves across a little quicker. And, oh, there we go. So, you notice earlier we had some slightly unkind moments from the game where they dangled a concrete donkey in front of us, but didn't actually let us use it. But you'll be pleased to know that crate there in the middle has a donkey. So you're going to finally get to see the concrete donkey in action. Team 17 are throwing us a bone on this one. They're kind of like, we know it was mean to kind of like bait you earlier with them, but now we're going to let them have it. So the object is basically just use the concrete donkey on that middle guard there. So you're going to have a sight to behold in a minute. But in the meantime, though, it's mainly just about roping back and forth. We get infinite ropes for this one again. Right, I'm going to play this a little bit safe here. This is actually quite a difficult map to do rope flings on because the terrain is kind of a weird shape. It's actually a reskin of a fairly well-known map from Worms Armageddon as well, which is like, it's just a bunch of control towers and stuff like that. But I really like this, the sort of wooden giraffes and stuff around this one. So here we go, going down here again, and another shotgun. You get one shotgun from each of the crates. You also get some girders that you're supposed to use to shelter your worm from the airstrikes that the enemy can do. But to be honest, if you stand close enough to the donkey crate, they won't attack you. I don't know why. Like, you'd think they'd want to get rid of a crate that would cause so much destruction to them, but hey-ho. So here we go. This should be the last turn if all goes well. So going to get a ninja rope, and then we're going to use our donkey. Are you all excited, gang? All right. Here we go. So just going to rope back here, and then we're going to use first shot just so we can get through to the donkey. And then we're using our second shot to blow up the crate, because unfortunately the object of this mission is to blow up the crate, not to use it. So, sorry, I don't know. I'm sorry. No. They stole our donkey again. All right, this mission is called Beachside Juggler. This is one of my favorite missions in the game. Object is to kill the enemy worm off. You get a prod and a minigun to do that in. We're going to try and do this all in one turn, because if we don't, it's pretty much a reset. Setting the low gravity up here so I can do a bigger jump to get this ninja rope. Roping across to the right here, and then falling straight down. Didn't quite get the fall I wanted here, but we should still be okay. Prodding the general onto the mine, and then using the minigun to launch them into the water, like so. Just kill them off in one turn, like that. One of my favorite strats in the run, that one. Like, it is, you kind of have to do that strat, so it's not like a kind of speedrun strat or anything, but doing it in one turn is kind of speedrunny, because, like, getting all the way over there before the time runs out with the low grav is quite difficult. This mission is called End of the Line. Object to this one, it's another crate trail mission, but all the crates have got mines under them, so they're quite dangerous. Oh, alright, took a little bit of damage from that one, but that's fine. This is another mission where if one of your worms dies, then the other one surrenders, so you have to keep them both alive. Which means John Follower is kind of useless in this mission, but... so we'll be skipping go whenever he goes along, but... Hang on, we're just trying to find the right pixel for this here. There we go. Sub-pixels are quite difficult to get your head around in the Worms games, because if you're standing on the wrong sub-pixel, then your jump will deflect off the surface that you're next to, rather than go up it, but... Right, this is the scary part of the mission, gang, so brace yourselves. We've got to get past this minefield up here. Alright, we're good. And then just going to skip go here because I need a bit more turn time on the next one to be able to jetpack down to the last crate. And there it is. And it's a concrete donkey, which we don't get to use. So, it's a real theme on this game for some reason. So, this mission's called Take 'em Down. This is supposed to be another crate trail mission, but we're actually going to do a much more broken version of this mission. That was a particularly broken shot there. I thank you. Right, so yeah, basically, first of all, I think we should all admire the artistic vigor that has gone into the design of this map. Secondly, object to this one is we're supposed to keep grabbing the crates. As we do, this stack of targets blows up until the VIP eventually falls onto the mines below and kills off the remaining enemy worms. Instead, what we're going to do is we're going to do a little rope fling there, which knocks the VIP down. Rope knocking is technically disabled in the missions, but if you do it outside of turn time, then it does work. And because we lost the turn by doing that little vibrating sort of bounce there with the ninja rope, then we managed to knock the VIP down. And then the second thing we're going to do in order to finish this mission off is get on top of these targets, first of all, and then just fall off them. And we hit the mine there and kill the enemy worms that we need to kill off. Weirdly, it's the two worms on the side and the VIP worm at the top that you need to kill off, but not the bottom one. It's a concrete donkey! Yeah, we don't get to use the donkey, but the enemy does have one. Now, because we haven't got the ease of access mouse thing happening on here, I am going to have to do this mission the intended way. There is a skip that you can do on this one that saves a fair bit of time, but instead I'm going to show you how this mission normally works. So this is called Pie Eating Piper. This is one of the only missions in the game, or any of the second generation Worm games, that actually requires knowledge of how the AI works in order to for you to get the solution. So what we're doing here is we're doing a prod on this target here. Every time we hit it, you'll notice a first aid crate spawns over to the right there. We need to do 4 of these prods here in order to create a trail of first aid crates that leads over to this pile of mines with the sign saying hi there. Now, because the enemy has a concrete donkey, you'll notice that each time I hit the target, I am retreating to the right. This is because the enemy is programmed to not drop the concrete donkey if they might get damaged in the in the course of doing so. So that's why I'm moving onto the ear there, because we're in the safe threshold. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to rope down here, grab this crate which contains a blowtorch, and we're going to cut the donkey's legs off, like so. And then I'm just going to move out of the secret agent's way. And what happens is that the AI are programmed to grab crates that are nearby to them. So the secret agent detects this first aid crate here. He walks all the way across to it. And he grabs the first crate. And he thinks, oh, that's pretty good, but it's only 5. Oh, there's another one. So he keeps walking across, grabs this one, and thinks, oh, wait, there's another. Because he's a greedy, greedy worm. And then, like, he notices there's one more. Hasn't noticed he's only got 5 seconds of turn time left. So he grabs the crate. Oh, dear. So he hasn't managed to donkey us. which means all we need to do now to kill this enemy worm off is just go over and pull our finger out. And there he goes. So yeah, that's the intended way of doing that. There's a kind of manip you can do with a girder on this as well, which is much quicker. But as I say, it requires pixel perfect placement of the girder, and I just wasn't quite confident we could do it with just with the mouse. So this mission is called what is this one called? Oh, Plain Crazy. That's right. So object. This one is to kill the enemy worm off on the right of the map. I'm just trying to make sure I've got this right here, because like it's quite a weird selection of inputs you have here. What I did at the beginning is I lined up the grenade on the side of Lady Liberty here. And now I'm going to throw a 4-second grenade from her hand here. It's going to land in the Houses of Parliament, knock the General into the Thames, and then that is the end of that mission. This mission is called All Aboard. This is the same as Jump Jet Defense in that this is basically you're supposed to use the Armageddon to kill this worm off and use the jetpack to dodge it. But we've actually got a different strat we're going to use. I'm skipping go here. This is going to manipulate the General into firing one shotgun at us, which they're going to do from down on the oar of the boat. And then they're just going to put the gun away because they feel like they can't do anything else useful. So then what we're going to do is just going to jetpack up to the side of the boat here and then just nudge a little bit across and then back jump down to knock the General into the water like that. That's much more consistent than using the Armageddon because the Armageddon can actually destroy the entire boat and you've got nothing left to land on afterwards. So yeah, that's much better. Right, you all ready for some bungee fun, gang? This mission, a crate trail mission, we just have to grab all of the bungees, all of the crates that are falling, and we've only got a bungee to be able to do it. So we're going to grab this one. Most of them appear in the center to begin with, but then they're going to start having a wider spread after this one. So we're going to go to the left here, grab this one on the swing back, and now we've got a big swing going, which means we can get the crates from each side as they spawn here. Then they start spawning in the middle again, so we're just going to narrow the focus of the swing a little bit, use a homing missile on that one, use a homing missile on this one, and then just quit out the moment they both go into the water. And here is our last blindfold mission of the run, gang. This is called Hindenburger. Object is to kill the enemy worm off.
Yes, sir.
So, oh. First thing we're doing there, just grabbing those two crates so we get a girder. And that's going to enable us to do a jetpack trick on the next turn. This next turn is going to scare you, but don't worry. So there's an indestructible border around the entire map, which is why we can go across the water like that. Okay. Where's my alt F4? There it is. I lost where F4 was for a moment. Apologies, gang. So this mission is called Puzzle at Mill, and this is, along with Icy Encounter, I'd say this is the other big run killer of the game. You're supposed to do 2 big trick shots on the worms here. This first one, you're supposed to set that, grab that crate, and the mine will launch them near to the guard there. And you're supposed to use a girder to trap them so that his grave damage kills the guard off. We're doing something a bit different. We're going for a strat that is not necessarily the fastest in the mission, but certainly the most consistent. Or it should be if we get it right. What I'm doing there, I'm taking some damage from the guard there because we need our worm to have under, I think it's under 30 health in order for this strat to work. So that crate there, what you're supposed to do with it is you're supposed to Dragon Ball the enemy worm in whilst grabbing the crate, as a mine will fall down the middle and that will help kill them off. But that is a really annoying strat to do. So instead, what I'm going to do is try and line up this jetpack here. And we do not want to grab the crate. That's a reset. It's quite slippery, that bit there. So, yeah.
Yes, sir.
So we'll have another go at this. Paul Lister, have you got anything you'd like to say in the meantime?
Yes, I do. I do have one donation. It's $10 from Arnaud33200 saying, have to donate during one of my fave games when I was a kid. I played so much Shoppa game online. So yeah, thank you for that donation. Do you need me to go on?
Yeah, a little more.
Okay, yeah, well, I can tell you a little bit about some of the prizes that we have in store here. So basically, every time you donate during this event, your donation total is being tallied up. And the more you donate, the more prizes you're eligible for. The first one is if you donate $10, like our friend Arnaud just did, you enter the draw for a UKSG Red beanie, which you probably have seen people wear while they're parading around in the space here. Add another $5 to that, and you will be in the draw for a PS1 poster, a very nice one indeed. We also have another $5 for the UKSG Red hoodie. It is a large size, so do be mindful of that. And finally, for those of you living in Europe, if you donate $25, a Final Fantasy VII Remake Material Ultimania book. Either way, thank you all for your donations. Back to you, Ruffled.
Thank you. Right. I think I've got this right. I hope I've got this right. So what I'm doing here is using the jetpack to go as far up as possible so that my worm takes fall damage. Okay, good. So that's fine. As you can see, like in combination with the crate, it just knocks him into the water like that. So, yeah. You have to put the girder in a very specific position for that to work as well. I'm really Where are you? There you go. This mission here, Revenge at Stonehenge, we are resetting 5 times before we do it. This is because it spawns a jetpack crate that we're going to use to make this mission much easier. Because this one is a real slog otherwise. And again, we basically just have to grab a crate on the far right of the map. Would you believe me? Oh, wrong team. Would you believe me if I said that we get to use a concrete donkey on this mission? No. Well,
Yes, sir.
I'm not going to spoil anything. Well, there's no enemies here, so that might narrow it down. But you're going to get the last look at Jet Patrick. So there we are, just throwing a grenade down, and then just grabbing the concrete donkey. Do we get to use it? No. Terribly sorry, gang. I know. Right, we get to end on Space Invaders, though, so that's kind of fun. So, yeah. Last mission in the game, then. This is called Invertebrate Invaders. Object is to kill all the enemy worms off. But, much like the bunged up mission from earlier, this is another one where we're going to use Team Skip. So time is going to be when you see the congratulations screen at the end of this one. So we only need to kill the 4 worms on the right to trigger a victory on this one. You'll notice we have VIPs as well who might take a bit of punishment, but that is time. So there we go. That was all 45 of the missions in Worms World Party Remastered, done in 1 hour, 5 minutes and 52 seconds with some blindfoldery along the way as well. Thank you very much to UKSG for having me. Thank you to everyone who donated, so we got to do all those wonderful incentives on the run. Shout out to Mad Black, to Psychotropic, to Charles, and to We Suck at Speedruns for all their help in routing the speedrun of this game. Shout out to the Worm speedrunning server as well on Discord. Please do join it if you're interested in learning how to run any of the Worms games, and you can find me at twitch.tv/RuffledBricks. Paulister, what did you think about that?
That was lovely. I'm so happy I was able to catch that. Yeah, really, really lovely. So yeah, that was a lovely run of Worms World Party Remastered. I thoroughly enjoyed that, and those blindfold segments were amazing. Coming up next, right after that, we will have Yakuza 3 Remastered with Rebel Dragon 95. He's being pointed at right now, gearing up, ready to go. So we're going to do a quick intermission, some quick ads, and when we're back, it's time for Yakuza.